I know a few of you at first episode of this series for content marketing. And for those of you who did not, I do have recording on YouTube. So if you send me an email, I can go ahead and send that to you so you can catch up on what we covered in the last session. But I'm going to spend a few minutes in the beginning in today's session to kind of recap what we talked about in the last session and give everyone an opportunity to ask any questions so I can answer those before we cover additional topics. How does that sound? Right, good. So we talked about, basically we're talking about content marketing in the context of inbound marketing, right? So we touched on traditional marketing that which we still do to some extent. It's cold calling, not so much cold calling, but emails and ads. These are all marketer centric. Meaning we are not really focusing on if the buyer is ready to buy or not. We're just pushing information for them to consume, basically forcing them to consume content even if they're not ready. Whereas in inbound, it's a customer centric. We are rendering content, serving up on in search results when they search for keywords in SEO, in blogging. So basically, when the buyer is really ready to do their research and considering to buy a product or service, is when we are providing content to them. So that's the main difference. And we also touched upon different stages in inbound methodology, which is strangers. You're attracting strangers to come to your blog, website, and social media. And once they become visitors, you are trying to convert them by collecting their email IDs through forms, call to action, and landing pages. And once they become leads, you are putting them into your CRM, the customer relations management system, which you're going to use to send them email newsletters, which is drip marketing, and also marketing automation, where you set up workflows based on how the person is consuming content. And the next step is closing, which they become your customers. You don't stop there. You take it to the next step by delighting them, asking them getting surveys from them regarding your service, asking for testimonials, and also providing them with smart content. Smart content is basically where you're providing them with content on how to use the products or service that they purchased from you, and also monitoring them on social media on what are they looking for next, so that you can upsell to them, and also they become your promoters, promoting your products and service. And the buyer's journey, we talked about the awareness stage, consideration stage, and decision stage, where you're providing with the different content. So awareness stage is the customer becoming aware of the challenge, either in their personal or professional life, it's a business, and then they go on to the next step, considering, okay, so I have this challenge, so what am I looking at? What are the solutions for it? And once they know about the solution, then they look for who are the solution providers and kind of do research on them before picking a proper or the service provider that a good fit for them, which includes value, price, and of course customer service. And we talked about different platforms that you can use to syndicate and publish your content for your customers to consume. And of course, for any content, SEO strategy is a must. So before you're generating any content, you must do keyword research and focus on those keyword phrases organically to write content. So based on all of this, we also kind of discussed about the next steps. Before this meeting, I'm not sure if any one of you had a chance to address any of these items for your business. So if you have any questions, I can answer those and maybe take a couple of minutes. If on any of these points, if you try to do your homework and kind of ran into a roadblock, if you have any questions. The first one was to identify your industry, B2B or B2C, or sometimes it's both. And also identifying your competition, doing industry research and analysis, and building buyers persona, or depending on what the challenges are in their personal or business, and what kind of solutions are they looking for to be effective in their job, if it's a business, or how to really solve their problem in their personal life if they're looking for a product or service. And also identifying the social media platforms where really it's effective for your business. There's a lot of research data available on this if you need help there. And also a must do for any business is to have a professional website and have the website verified with Google and install Google Analytics on the site so that you're tracking how your website is performing and what type of traffic you're getting and what keywords are bringing traffic to your website and all of that. And so with all this introduction, today we're going to move on to the topic on how do you really plan for content, how do you create the content, and how you publish content on different platforms on social media, so that social media and also search engines, so that you are catering to different demographics online. So I guess we're ready to move on to the next topics that I wanted to cover today. Um, the topic we're going to cover today are, really planning and creating content. So creating content with a purpose. So what's the purpose of creating content in your business? So it all boils down to uh, who is that you're creating this content for and why? Why is your content of any value to the people that you're sending it to? Right. So, why is content critical for inbound marketing methodology? So, without content, we don't have anything, right? So, why do we go on the internet to consume a lot of different type of content, whether it's social or political or professional? So, any lot of content. So, without it, there is nothing on the internet, right? So we are consuming content in a lot of different formats too. So we're going to touch upon those in the next slides. So why is inbound important? Because a lot of businesses have already adopted inbound marketing and content marketing, and 44% of B2B and 39% of B2C marketers have documented content strategy. What that means is, most businesses try to kind of do it on the fly. They read content and post it as and when they have time. They don't really have a plan for, okay, this is the season for such and such products or service, and I want to have content planned so that I can raise awareness among my target market on, okay, this is coming up. So these are all the things that you know about, and these are your options, right? So there's not really a solid plan for content, whether it's blog or landing pages or sending out email letters. For any of these, a lot of businesses don't have any plan. So it's important to have that documented, to have a content marketing plan for your business. Right? So there are a lot of businesses that do seasonal type of promotions, depending on the industry that you target. So it's really important to keep track of those and have those in the calendar so you have appropriate content for your business, right? For business like Rayanne's, it can be anything, any season, but you can also focus on, summer season coming up, right? So a lot of kids, for instance, will be participating in the sports camps and things like that. So there will be definitely, God forbid, there'll be injuries. So those are the times when parents are going to be reaching out to providers that can provide relief in those situations. And for chip, for energy business, I don't know if there is any seasonal type of thing. I think it's year long. So even if it's year long, there is no seasonal. It's important to have the content plan. So you have a theme of content for every month, right? So that way you are providing content to your customers in different stages of their buying journey. Now, so the inbound campaign scenarios. So this is very important for any business at a high level to understand what each one of these campaign means. So a drip marketing campaign. This is a marketing campaign most businesses do, which is email marketing, right? So you may be using MailChimp or Constant Contact, Aweber, any one of these. Free or paid services to send out email newsletters a few times a year or once a month or whatever that frequency is. But in this drip marketing campaign, you're not really focusing on the behavior of the consumer who is receiving that content in the newsletter. So it's all time based. So you're just set it to go out once a month or twice a month, whatever that is. So lead nurturing campaign is taking drip marketing to the next level. Basically, it's a series of emails that you're sending out based on how they're consuming the content in your email. So let's say you sent out the first email with a topic that included a video to watch, right? So if someone clicked on that video, you, based on the program that you're using for your campaign, you are able to track, who clicked on that. So based on that action, you have the system set up to send out a next piece of content for them to provide more information on the topic that you talked about in the video. So it goes on until you're kind of exhaust the pieces of content that you have for that lead nurturing campaign. And a remarketing campaign. This is again, so it's a series of emails that get sent based off leads behavior on a specific product or service, right? So what that means is you are tracking based on the links that you send in your email, which links the people click on and which pages on the website that they visit or what ebooks they download. So based on that type of intelligence data, you are hyper targeting those people in your lead nurturing campaign. So what that allows you to do is to really personalize your campaign. So you're moving these people who are in status quo mode to the next level and move them closer to closing the sale. And follow-up campaign. So this is kind of an unusual campaign that we all kind of follow. This is when people are not consuming content the way you expect them to. You're sending them emails, but they're not clicking on any links. And uh, they're not behaving the way you want them to when you send them content. They'll need a little extra nudge to kind of help them. Okay, this is something that you can really benefit from, right? So what is stopping you? What is your objection for is consuming this content? So you're kind of helping them understand the benefits of the content that you're sending with this follow-up campaign. So they are built slightly differently to kind of help them move out of that state. And post-sales campaign. This is the last step that we talked about in the inbound methodology, which is the delight stage, where they became your clients. Now you want them to be your promoters, and also you want them to be in the know of what you're doing, what new products and services that you are offering, so that you can upsell to them. So all these five campaign scenarios directly map to the five the stages that we discussed here on how we convert from strangers to promoter stage. So that's how you move along in your campaign. And the best way to kind of really make use of these campaign scenarios to use marketing automation. There are several products available out there so that you have set up the system to work in autopilot mode. So you have all the content generated, all the triggers and workflows, or actions defined on how the campaign should move along based on consumer behavior, so that you're not sitting there manually responding to emails, manually sending them ebooks and videos and things like that. So this is going to save a lot of time for you using marketing automation. Now, the content strategy. So it's the three main points before planning and creating any content is the purpose of why you're preparing content and what format that content makes sense and what's the topic. So you are going to do this kind of in the content marketing plan blueprint. If any of you is interested, I can email that to you later. We use that in our business and for our clients. So it really helps because in my case, I'm not the only one, or Krishna is not the only one who's working on our business. We have a whole group of people that are helping us in different aspects of our projects, in content writing, link building, generating videos, pictures, and all these. So putting this plan together really helps us keep everybody in the team coordinated so that we know what's going on and what each one is doing in each month based on the theme and the topic and the format of the content. So the content process looks like this. So you're planning, that's the first step. You're creating content, distributing it, analyzing it, and you're doing it all over again. So we're going to touch on these in detail. Moving on to the next, right? So the content, purpose, and format. So what are we talking about here? So the content purpose is, okay, is this like an ongoing automation type of content, or is it one-time like a sales-driven type of content, right? So you distinguish that based on, okay, is this a sales offer? So you're going to do this with the help of landing page or a intake form, or it's a blog post or a website content that is open for access to anyone on the internet. Right, so these are all when I say format of content, these are all the different formats that we're talking about. So case studies, we work on a lot of different projects in our businesses, right? So keeping track of statistics on how you started out your business with a particular client, and really document step by step on how you help them move along in solving their challenge or an issue. What challenge they came to you with, that's the situation appraisal, right? So they came to you with a problem, and how did you go about evaluating their problem, and what are the solutions that you proposed, and what was the plan for you to implement that solution, and how long did it take, or if it's still ongoing, that's fine too, and how it's going, and so basically tracking the progress of how you provided solution to their problem. So that's what a case study is, and case studies can be in a in a PDF format, right? So yeah, the important thing here is for you to keep documentation on how your solution is performing. In my business, in our case, we have a lot of statistics tools that we use either for marketing automation or to track website traffic and SEO or Google AdWords. We use Google Analytics. For social media, we use other tools. So it's keeping those statistics online. We can go back to historical data anytime, and that's how we kind of build the case studies on how our clients' business is progressing in terms of traffic or people coming in, closing the sale, conversion goals, and that type of stuff. And the second format is videos, right? So we all know how important videos are and how effective they are. Um, uh, uh, Starting with just a short training video on things to do. I know, Rayanne, we talked about uh, putting together videos for you know, to do at home exercises after they come see you for treatment, right? So that's really important because you can give a sheet of paper for them to follow the instructions, but it's not as effective as if someone is showing it in the video. Okay, this is how exactly you do that exercise, right? So it's more effective that way. So video is handy for any type of business. Little tidbits for how to do it yourself type of stuff. You're not really teaching them to do everything that you do because that's your business, right? They would you want them to come to you, but at the same time you want to show them, hey, these are some of the things you can do on your own and this is how you do it. So that gives you more credibility on, okay, so you know your stuff, and also they know that they can come to you if they need further help. Infographics, this is another uh, very effective way of representing statistics, the numbers type of data, and a lot of businesses use this, and there are tools that you can use to build these infographics also. Of course, white papers are topics that you can talk about. Uh, the one example for white papers is on how to build white papers is if you are active in writing blog posts week after week. Let's say you're doing part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say I'm doing this free webinar series, right? So on content marketing. So I have 4 parts in this. So I can easily take the content of this and put it into an ebook or a white paper. So that's the advantage of really kind of keeping this in a structured format, so you can easily convert them into different formats. So this gives you kind of sharing the content, the same content on different platforms, right? So I can share this video that I'm recording on YouTube, and I can post each tidbits of each session on my blog posts, and when everything is done I can build ebooks and white paper from the content that I've generated, because we all spend time on content that we share with our clients and prospects, so why not leverage that content for a long time to come, because you can reuse the content that you generate for years to come. You may have to tweak it as things change, but you have the structure and the core content built for those topics. And worksheets and calculators. So worksheets are, in the last session, I showed you some worksheets for how to build buyer's persona. And today we're going to talk about how to kind of build content topics. So those worksheets are really handy for people to kind of do their homework. They may already be working with you, but if they're not spending time on really making it work for their business, you're not helping them, right? So you are pushing them to do their homework, and these worksheets are handy to do that. I know, Deborah, you do this a lot in your workshop, and you send this to people that you're working with. So those are really good. Ebooks is another good format to use. Again, the blog posts that you're generating, you can convert them into several chapters in your ebooks, and there are also free and paid tools to generate ebooks on those topics. And templates, again, these templates I'm talking about, in my case, for instance, content marketing plan, right? So I am teaching this content marketing class, but I really want you to put this to work, the knowledge that you gained by attending these webinars. So I want to help you to sending out the templates so that you can plan how to plan content, how to create content, how to publish content, and all those templates, the calendars and things like that. Research reports. These are like trend reports. This works for any industry. Like for a chip in your business, I know you have research on different the energy products that you sell, and the research reports helps people to kind of become knowledgeable about what those options are for them and how providers are different from each, and if you are a broker, then you are really kind of educating them on what different options are and how what the distinctions are. Checklists, again, these are examples. So for instance, if I want to teach someone how to bring their really professional LinkedIn profile, so I would send them a checklist of, hey, these are the things that you really want to have in place so that when you sit down to build your LinkedIn profile, you already have them all prepared, right? And same thing with what are the different things that you need to be aware of if you're trying to optimize, let's say, a website, right? So what are the different items that are important in terms of keyword research, how to build the links. So these are the checklists that you can work on as homework. So when you really sit down to implement those, you already have that in place. Of course, webinars, we all know those are very effective also for kind of building that a following so that people know that you are the expert in your industry or in that subject, and credibility goes a long way, right? So they know that you're talking about these and you know what you're talking about, so you know all the tools and tricks to solve their issues and their challenges, or at least you will guide them where to find that solution if you don't have it. And SlideShare decks. Again, SlideShare is another platform. I can take, I don't post everything on SlideShare, but I can take maybe condense this presentation into fewer slides and kind of just give a summary of what I'm teaching in this. So that's another way to build your profile and your following on social media. And anything else that you can think of, the formats. I know email newsletters is another one that we all use. That's again a format of content. Pictures, the images that you use on your website and social media, and there are tools that you can use to build visual content. So there are a lot of different creative ways that you can really come up with a purpose and format for the content that you're going to generate. If you have any questions on any of these, just start typing. I will get to them when we get to the Q&A session in a few minutes here. Now, so just a few bullet points on how do you plan a content strategy. So everybody on this webinar have been in business for a few years now, so you already kind of know what your ideal customer is, but you may not have really put that on paper. So really try to understand who your customer is, and instead of really spending a lot of time having copywriters write your content and doing even you sitting down and spending a lot of time generating new content, take an audit of what content you already have. Go back maybe a year or a year and a half and see what are the blog posts that you, the topics that you talked about. What are the email newsletters that you have sent out, and also if you already have content on your website, look at those and see is there any tweaking or updates needed for that content to make it fresh. And is there anything else you can do with the content that you already have, maybe adding few pictures in it or videos on that topic. So you can do a lot of things with the content that's already existing in your library. And once you do that content inventory and identify the gaps, the exercise that you would go through is, of course, always do a keyword research. The latest keyword research will help you because consumer behaviors have changed over the years. So if you wrote content a year ago, some of the keywords that are relevant now, you may not have used in your content a year ago. So that helps you kind of update your content to be more relevant and more current, replace and remove outdated content, improve the quality of existing content, and use content in new and different ways. So as I said, if you never embarked on doing an ebook or white paper, look at the blog posts that you already have, take those, rework those, and convert them into chapters in your ebook and white papers. And when this is all done, now you are going to go find resources to help you create additional content so that you can build upon the content library that you currently have. And so what is your content marketing mix should look like, right? So I talked about, we all subscribe to a lot of different blogs. We follow different websites for content. We get RSS feeds and notifications when there is content for us to read. So that's all good. There should be a balance in this mix of the content that you're sharing with your demographics regarding the content that's relevant to the products and services that you sell, and the challenges and problems that you help them resolve, right? So that's this is a percentage that's listed here. So 65% of the content that you share should be the original content. It's created by your business. What that means is you may still be using a lot of sources online for your research on those topics, but you are writing it in your own words, in your own voice. When I say you, it not necessarily be you. Maybe you have a content writer in your team that's writing for you, but it's written by your business, and you own the copyright for that content, right? So that's the 65% of the content. And 25% of the content is curated. So let me go to the next slide here. And of course, 10% is syndicated. So this will help you understand the original content versus curated content, right? So content that you create, so of course it takes a lot of effort, right? Blood, sweat, and tears, but it pays off in the end. So you can reuse this content over and over, and you can repurpose the content, and you can convert the content, the same content, into different formats. So you can leverage this content in a lot of different forms. Now the second one is the curated content. So this curated content is a content that's written by someone else, but it still involves some level of personalization. So I'm talking about, going, so if I'm reading a blog post that's written about what are the new effective ways of doing Google AdWords campaign for a business that does e-commerce websites or sells products online, right? So I like that content; it's really good content, but I still want to put. Of course, I'm going to read that to its kind of full extent, and I would like to kind of comment on the topic, on what I think about this topic. Right before I share that link for that content. So of course I would cite that source where it came from, and put in my own words maybe a couple of paragraphs of content to explain what is talked about in that particular topic and why it's important for people to read it, right? So, and share it on different platforms and social media. So that's the curated content. And the third type of content I showed in the previous slide is the syndicated content. That's the 10%. This is where you're just, picking up somebody's content and just posting the link, right? So that's the syndicated content. So it doesn't have to be personalized. You can still write, hey, some opinion about it in a line or two, a sentence or two, but it's somebody else's content, and you're not really personalizing anything related to that. So that's the syndicated content. So kind of make sure when you're doing the content marketing plan, you have that mix, balanced mix to be effective. And the other thing is too is when you're planning this content, make sure there is no sales pitch in this content. Depending on when the person is reading that content, depending on the stage in their buyer's journey, awareness, consideration, or decision stage, they may not want to see any content which is talking about, you had to buy this, which has sales pitch in it. So be mindful of that. Of course, it is important for you to kind of differentiate yourself, maybe compare yourself with other competitors, why you are different. So that's you definitely can do that, but always have a balanced mix of content that have more content with no sales pitch in it, just education, right? So of course these are all the different uh, tips on how to create a good content. Keyword research is a must, and a search on internet forums on these topics. of course, follow popular industry news, different blogs, and sales and support FAQs. This is in your own business. Uh, think about the emails or calls you've received with issues that your customers have approached you with, right? So um, it's difficult for us to follow this, but it's really important for us to kind of make a database of FAQs, so you can make those FAQs into blog topics, right? So sales and support FAQs, it's a really handy tool or a trick to kind of come up with topics to write for blog posts. And your persona's goal. So remember, we talked about building a buyer's persona. That's the first step that you do. Look at what their goals are. If they're a HR manager trying to, who handle payroll, right? So what are the goals that their goals on a day-to-day goals to accommodate to the company, to the people who work in the company, or if they are a HR who is helping with their people's time management and stuff for Deborah. So that's a good goal for you to address or a problem for you to address. Okay, they're trying to really help with team building and stress management, time management. So they're definitely in need of a business coach for them to help with that type of issue. And goals and, of course, challenges, right? So they go together. Goal is to really kind of resolve their challenge in most cases. And just to touch upon different types of formats that make sense in each stage, right? So again, all this is based on research, how people consume content depending on the stage that they're in their buyer's journey. Analyst reports, research reports, ebooks. So these are all in the awareness stage when they're really kind of trying to understand what the issue is. And consideration stage is where people are talking about different solutions. So where in webcasts, podcasts, videos, comparison sheets, white papers, and decision stage. This is where you are going to provide them with vendor comparison, product comparison, case studies, and how your products has resolved somebody's issues. Of course, trial download. This is always a good option for mostly any B2B businesses, because people don't want to get into using your products or service without understanding the details of it. Maybe trial download it in the same context as maybe you provide them with the complimentary consultation, right? Or a download of the ebook that's only available to people that are really serious about your products and service. Product literature and live demo, right? So there are a lot of ways for you to help people understand the benefits of your products and services. So I'm going to send this the slides as a PDF for those that are interested. So you will have all these available to you to go through later on too. Now, so different stages of content again. For example, in my case, if so a business is looking for optimization tips for improving the website for conversion rates, right? That's the awareness stage. So I would like to provide them with educational content to understand what the issue is and what the root problem is, and how they can solve it, right? They're having trouble driving traffic to their website, for instance. They have a good website, but they may not be getting any traffic to it. So how do they resolve it? Or maybe they don't have a good website. People are coming to the website but not converting. Maybe the website is not user friendly. So there may be a lot of different issues with it. So I try to help them understand this in my complimentary consultation part of it, right? So, and consideration stage. So I'll go ahead and send them, okay, these are the this is the ebook on 9 steps to redesigning the website. I'm not really telling them all the technical because most of businesses don't want to know any technical details because they don't have time for that. But what are the, as a business owner, what are the things they need to know or consider before redesigning a website? Because they already have a website that didn't work, they don't want to do the same mistake, right? So I would like to make them aware of, okay, these are the common mistakes that most people make while designing a website that you should not do, and these are the good best practices for redesigning a website. That's the consideration stage. And decision stage is where I'm providing them with a free consultation and maybe also some case studies of websites that you have already built and how we have increased the traffic to the website. So different things that the format of content that I can send out. So you can kind of relate to this in your business and see how it translates to your business. And this is a content worksheet, for example. So this is a buyer's persona for that particular business. The topic is redesigning a website. And let's say the buyer is in a consideration stage. And how will this content help this person is knowing what a redesign of a website looks like, what efforts are involved, and what they need to be prepared as a business owner in terms of content, whether it's a text content, videos, images, hosting. So a lot of different things the business owner has to do on their end to provide to the developer or the graphic designer or the website designer to get that done. So those are the things that would be so educating them on, okay, what their commitment is, what how much time they'll be spending when they're redesigning their website, so they can plan accordingly, right? And I would like to generate this content in an ebook or white paper format, right? And the content structure is how to, as opposed to a list of checklist or FAQ, and there are different formats that you can build the content in. And the content title is 9 Steps to Redesigning a Website. This content really planning helps you really kind of keep yourself organized so that even if you pass this on to your team or someone, a copywriter, to write about, they know what your thoughts are on this and how they have to go about writing that topic. And again, best practices for creating content. Focus on different pieces of content for different stages in the buyer's journey. Keep it educational, not promotional. And less is more. See, the content, right, depending on the format, so you have to be mindful of making it easy to read. If it's a video, it's always good. If it's a white paper or an ebook, keep it in a easy to read format, which is not long paragraphs. Make bullet points are always good. It same applies for blog posts and websites. And focus on the informational part of the content first. Worry about the design second. What that means is, don't focus so much on the design. So focus on, okay, so these are the things I want to cover in my content. So then you decide on the format, like whether you want it to be ebook or a white paper or a video or any one of those, right? And of course, any of these content that you generate, you're going to leverage on all these different platforms, websites, blogs, social media, landing pages, and email newsletters. And this way, you're maximizing the shelf life of your content. If you really, put together 4 pieces of content, you can be using that 4 pieces of content for the whole quarter. If you set it in marketing automation. So just think about in that direction. So the time that you spend in creating that content, it's going to pay off. And so this next part is it gets a little bit technical in the sense, if you are familiar with Google Analytics, for instance, right? So you want to see if it's a video, even YouTube can be added to your Google Analytics, so you can see how many people viewed your YouTube video on your website or on YouTube.com, and how many leads were generated. So you can track this by creating what we call a goal conversion funnel in your Google Analytics. This can be as simple as tracking how many, what do you first of all, you have to determine, okay, what do you treat as a lead? Is it a lead if someone contacts you with a contact form on your website? Or is it a lead if someone downloads ebook from your website? Or is it a lead if they view a video on your website? I would say all of these would be a lead because they were interested in the topic, right? So it's very important for you to collect their email address when they took any of these actions. So you have a way to add them to your CRM and pursue them in their next stages of their buying journey. And social proof and shareability. So basically what this means is how shareable your content is on social media. Inbound links, how many links are coming into your content from other places. For example, if you shared this content on Facebook, that's a link generated from Facebook into your content. And if you shared this via email, anybody you sent this email to, it came from that email. So these are all the different metrics, what we call it, that you want to keep track of in Google Analytics so that you can optimize your content marketing strategies and topics. And this is just a couple of examples of example content. So this particular organization, for instance, it's a nonprofit that aims to improve the well-being of children through the promotion of responsible fatherhood. These are single parent or single father families, right? So this organization helps these fathers to how to really make connections with their children and be a good family and keep the family together type of stuff, right? It's in different stages of their lives, day-to-day chores, or when the kids get sick, what fathers do, a lot of different stages that fathers go through or a single parent goes through. So this organization, National Fatherhood Initiative, provides a lot of content for their subscribers. In terms of ebooks, for instance, the ultimate guide to connecting with your child, right? So this is an ebook, so they can, tips on how to communicate with your child and be connected at different ages of the child. And the other type of workshops, for instance, the how to, deal with the well child, sick child, injured child, and safe child. So these are all the different topics built around helping families, the fathers that are raising their children as single parent. So this is a kind of an example content strategy that they came up with to cater to their demographics. Now, in the next few slides, I have listed a lot of tools that you can use, and I have used a lot of these for my business and for my clients. So again, it's you have to try these out to kind of before you stick with any of these. Of course, the top ones: Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools. These are the content research tools, and how so in Google Analytics, you have a section where you can get data about the landing pages that are visited by different people and keywords that brought traffic to the website. These are all the content, the research data that can help you create effective content. And same thing with the Search Console in Google Webmaster Tools. These two are a must to have for any business. There's no substitution for this. So these two are must have. Make sure you have these on your website. I mentioned this in the last session also. And Google AdWords. If you're running Google AdWords campaign for your business, this is again another tool that tells you what keywords are bringing clicks from your campaign, right? And so a few others here. Feedly.com is a place where you can build your content library. And Quora.com this is a great resource for content. So you can check out these websites and see how you can make use of these for your content research. In my next session, that's on in June, I'm going to pick a couple of these and kind of go through and show you how to use them. This one is content research tool. So we are going through the content process, right? So first one is planning the content. So this is where you're going to do your content research and plan your content and content creation tools. I have also listed a lot of tools here. We use all of these for different formats. Evernote, I know a lot of people use this to make notes and create content on the go. Once you have an account on Evernote, both mobile, desktop, and web apps sync automatically while you're on the internet, so you don't lose any data. So you can be, sitting somewhere waiting for an appointment. You're reading something, we want to make notes. This Evernote is a great tool to use. And Word to Clean HTML. This is a tool where, if you have some content in your Word file, you would like to bring them into your bring it to your blog post. Just doing a straight copy paste will mess up the formatting on your website. So this is a tool that converts your Word content into a clean HTML. So you can take that and copy into your blog post and it looks cleaner, right? And these are some of the other tools: blog topic generator and templates. Canva, and I know some of you are familiar with this. This is a great tool for generating visual content. It's for your website, landing page, or social media, any of these. They have sizes, image sizes for all different social media platforms. A very handy tool to generate visual content. And landing pages. This is one of the formats that most businesses use. And these are the tools that you can use for that: lead pages and unbounds. I'm sure there are other tools out there too. These are just some examples. An infogram. This is a tool that you can use to generate infographics. SlideShare is for slides. Of course, webinar programs. I use Click Meeting. You have Zoom, GoToWebinar, depending on what your goal is and how expensive they are. Whatever fits your purpose. Use those. Video editing programs. You have Filmora, iMovie, so that these are handy tools because you may have a video that you took with a script, but you want to maybe add a logo in the front, call to action in the front and back of the videos, and maybe trim the videos, crop the videos. You can do a lot of different things with this. I use Filmora because I use a PC. That's a Windows program, and for those Mac users, iMovie is a good tool. And ebooks. So HubSpot has some free ebook templates to use, and some of the other tools you can use for ebook are Blurb, Caliber, Kotobi, and there are a few others out there. And again, next steps, keep working towards really making use of this knowledge from these webinars so that you can apply it to your business, and keep working towards building your content marketing plan. And as always, we can help you with any of this on a consulting basis. Now, I will open it up. Oh, by the way, the next session is on June 22nd. So we're going to go through some of the tools that I covered in the past 2 slides, and talk about fundamentals of blogging, different call to actions, and look at content research and content creation tools. So we're almost about time, but if I'll take a few questions if you have any. I'm gonna, you can either type it in chat, or I'm also gonna open up if you want to raise your hand and speak. I will change the mode to Q&A, so you can speak also. So I see, Rayanne, you have a question. Would you do this for each audience you target? Would you do this for each audience to target? Which one, Rayan? I'm sorry, I didn't see when you typed it. That was for the worksheet. Yeah, so if each audience is unique, each target is unique, you want to have maybe 2 or 3 versions of the worksheet that you may be able to reuse with this audience. And I do have recording of this. So if you need to go back and revisit, send me an email. I will send you a link. 2 or 3 for each audience. No, I mean, so come up with maybe a set of questions for each audience, right? So one per audience, or maybe variations of that audience. Yes, Deborah, definitely. I'll send you the recording link. How to look at the whole year for the strategy. I would say start with the quarter. So build quarter by quarter to get a feel for it, because it will be a little challenging to plan content for the whole year at the time. And you also want to kind of be relevant to the time that you're creating content so that it can be fresh and current. So I would say plan for 3 months at a time. A big large calendar. So I have kind of a calendar that I use for my clients. I can share that with you. It's a Excel spreadsheet, right? So it gives you, depending on, you may have to tweak it a little bit based on how often you want to generate content, whether it's weekly or monthly, and you will have a theme for the month and topics for in that theme, right? For each theme, you may have 2 or 3 topics. Yeah, that's how you would plan it. And for the whole year, if you want to do again, so start with 3 months, and maybe that will give you a better idea on doing for the next 3 months also. So you have at least 6 months worth of content. Thanks, everyone. I think that's everything for today. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. We'll see you all next time.